Hello everyone. Today I'm going to do a review of the Honeywell evaporative air cooler. I purchased this on Amazon. It retails $160 and right now it's on sale for $130. Now what evaporative coolers are is just a big fan with the water pump that uses the water to cool the air. That's it. So many people mistake this for being an AC. Now from experience, I've been using evaporative coolers for the last 2 years and they will not cool down your room. So what it does is, as I mentioned, it's a fan. So on the bottom of each one, you have a water reservoir where you can put in anywhere from 1 gallon to 5 gallons, depending on how big of a unit is. So what it does is it has a pump. So the pump takes the water from the bottom and then takes it all the way to the top and then pours it on the air filter, which I will show later. Then pours it on the air filter and then the fan takes that air from the back of the unit, just like any other fan. They take the air from the back of the unit and then that air passes through that filter, which is drenched in water and gives that cool effect. So this will not cool down your room. I honestly, on my last videos, I always get that question, will it cool down my room? No, it will not drop any degrees in your room. So for example, if your room is 80 degrees, it will not lower it to 75 or anything like that. But what it will do, it will give you that depending where you live. I definitely recommend this buying in desert areas, Las Vegas, Arizona, South Cali, and places with low humidity. Now this has to be in a place where the humidity is 20% or less. If it's higher humidity, this unit will not work. You're better off just buying a much cheaper fan. My purpose of this fan is, for example, right now it's April, beginning of April. Outside it's 82, 84, 85 degrees, and I'm already feeling, a bit hot in my room. So what I do is I crank up a window a little bit, then I turn the fan, I do the cold feature, which is the water, and then if I turn it towards me, and it just keeps me cool throughout the day, so I don't have to use the central AC. I live by myself. I have a bigger two-bedroom apartment, so I don't want to be running AC all day every day. I'm wasting a lot of electricity, and since I mentioned I'm mostly in one place, in one spot on my computer or stuff like that, when I'm working at home, so this fan keeps me cool throughout those 4 or 5 months where it's not too hot. Now, when it's summer, and let's say, now this fan, it works good if it's 90 degrees and lower. It will keep you cool. Now, when it gets really hot, over 90 degrees, 9500, this will not keep you cool. So you will need to have an AC. So keep that in mind, especially since, it is $150. Now, if you need something to keep you cool in 100-degree weather, you're better off just buying portable AC. Now, let's go over what came in the box first. We got the remote, we got the setup guide, and of course, we got the fan. Now, on top of the unit, we have 4 different buttons. We have the power, which gives you that little light. It's always on or off, it's the same light. And then we have this, they call it cold feature, which is the feature that takes the water and pumps it to the top and goes over the filter. And then we have 3 different speeds. And also what we have is this is the button where it makes the fan move the air left or right. Now, as you can see on this particular fan, the interesting thing, only the left side, I would say only maybe like 30, not even 30, maybe like 25% of the fan is actual where the air comes out. All this is blocked. So on the whole right side of this fan, it's blocked off. Honestly, I found that interesting. I haven't seen that in any other fan. So you can only use about 25% where the actual air comes out of. Everything else is blocked off. Now, it doesn't take anything away from the actual use of the fan. I did notice the amount of air that it throws out. It's pretty good, but I just found that interesting, which I didn't even notice until maybe a couple weeks in, that this whole side is kind of closed off. Now, as I mentioned, on the front side, you have that button that moves inside. There's like a lowers, I believe they're called, and they move left to right. So if you need to cool down, so on the fan, as I mentioned, this button, what it does, there's these lowers and they move them left to right. So if you need to cool down a bigger area, from left to right, you will feel the air going left and right. So that's a good thing. Also, another cool thing is you have two different sections of this fan. You can lower it, so you can have the air go all the way down, or you can have it all the way up, and it also works the same on the bottom. So for example, you can put this one up and this one down, or you can do whatever you want, but they're movable by hand, which is, honestly, I thought it was kind of cool feature. I'm not sure if it's very useful for me. I just leave both at the same position, so I don't know if somebody would need one half for the air to go down, one hour to go up. Now this is the back of the unit. As you guys can see, you can see this really big filter. I'll show you that in a bit. Also, this is used for a handle, so you can grab it from the front and then you can just pick it up. It's not very heavy. It does have the wheels. It has 4 wheels on the bottom, so you can roll them, but the whole unit is not heavy and anybody can pick it up. And also this place is to hold your remote, so you can just stick it inside so you don't lose it. And now let me show you the actual filter here. Now you just press this 2 levels and then we have the filter. Mine is a little bit damaged, but it's clean. I'll clean that. And all you have to do is what I do is, if it does get dirty from the dust, you take a wet towel and then just clean it on here, and everything, all the dust will come off. So it's very easy. Now we have another filter, which I'm not sure if it's replaced, so I just don't see this thing getting damaged. Now this is what they call honeycomb filter, and it's very hard. This is not soft at all. It's very, very hard. And I'm not even sure how to take it out, because it does have this like thing so that it can come out. I mean, I guess you can take it out a little bit forcefully, but I'm not gonna touch it. It looks like it's still in good condition after many months of use. And now let me just pop this thing inside. So the way it works, it has the reservoir water on bottom. So the pump will pump the water all the way to the top, and it will release the water from here. So it will release the water from the top, and the water will slide down naturally. It will fall down these cracks on the filter, and it will, I don't want to say drench, because it is a very hard filter, so the water will just kind of fall down. Honestly, my first thought would be that this filter was softer material, so it picks up water nicely, but it's not. So it will just the water will just keep falling down, and then it will just drain back into reservoir, and then we'll keep going. So on the bottom of this unit, we have the reservoir, which is non-accessible. So you won't be able to access it, clean it, or anything like that. We have this little slot that opens up, and all you have to do is add water. Now I will show that. Now this is how I add the water. Usually it takes around 4 of these. I would say around 2 gallons. I haven't seen it in description, so I would just assume from experience. And all you have to do is just pour it down. And that's it, pretty simple. For the full reservoir, you need about 4 of these. So I would say about 8 liters, probably like 2 gallons. So this thing, you just lift it up a little bit for all the water to get inside. Now this thing that opens up, it's very flimsy. So every time you move it, there's no latch. So every time you move it, it will just pop out. Not a big deal, but I'm just worried one time will just pop out, maybe break off. It is plastic, so hopefully it doesn't. Unfortunately, there's no latch. What you can do is you can take just a tape and just put it right here so it stays in place in case you're moving it often. So also on the bottom, there's a window that shows you how much water you have. There's a minimum and maximum. Right now, I'm at about half full, which is about a gallon of water. So this gallon of water will last me in desert. It will last me about, if I use it all day, I would say a day, then a day and a half. So the full tank would last me 2 days. Now to turn on the unit, you can press the power on the remote, or you can just press it here. And I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but the first speed is very, very quiet. And another thing that I love about this fan is it will always remember in which speed you leave it on. If you leave this on, so when you power it on again, it will just repeat the settings. So it does have the memory. Now let's try the second speed. So there's a noticeable output of air on the second speed, but also of course, there's more noise. Uh, Honestly, at second speed, it doesn't annoy me. Now the third one, of course, more noticeable output of air, and it's much more noisier. So on the third speed, I wouldn't be able to sleep or talk or watch the TV. It would be very noticeable. So I keep it on the first speed. Now let me show you the lowers first before I do the cold feature. And I'm not sure if it's visible in the video, but the whole thing just moved left to right, which is kind of weird that they have them on the right side, even though the air only comes out on this left side. So that's something I was talking about earlier. So let me turn this off. Now let's start the cold feature. Now at the beginning you will hear some rumblings, not too loud at all. You will hear some water, but after a while you won't be able to hear any water. So you won't even know that the pump is actually taking all the water. This one, unlike the other ones I used, the other ones would make much more noticeable water. It will sound more like one of those fountains where you can actually hear the water drop back into reservoir and stuff like that. This one doesn't have that sound. And now that I activated the water feature, I can already feel a bit of cooler air coming at me, unlike before when I just turned it on with the regular fan. Now at the moment, since I have it pointing at me, I'm feeling a cooler breeze on me. Now, first, I'm going to talk about the things I love about the fan. Now, the first thing, adding more water is super easy. You just get that pitcher, put in the water. Another thing that I love about this fan that most others don't have is you can add the water even if the fan is on, which is a good thing. Now, bad thing about it is you won't be able to add ice cubes. You won't be able to add ice packs. Some of those evaporative coolers come with the plastic ice packs that you can put in the freezer. You can add ice cubes. Now, again, from my experience, that only works for the first 20 minutes. Those ice packs, they will make the water cooler, so you will feel that effect right away. Now what most evaporative coolers do is once that water keeps going back and forth, top bottom, and that water will get very, very cold. So realistically you don't even need those ice packs or ice cubes because the water itself will get very cold because it's passing through that air that the fan is pulling. So bad thing I don't like about the actual reservoir is how flimsy the back is where you put in the water. And another thing is after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, the tank will probably get very dirty and moldy. And the problem is you won't be able to access that. Now on the bottom of the fan, there's like a little rubber plug that you just unplug and then you can drain it. Now what I'm thinking of doing, since I think it is time to clean the reservoir, is I'm gonna just put some solution. You can buy the solution, you can create your own. I believe it's just vinegar, some baking soda, and then I'm gonna add that with some water. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pick it up and just shake it. It's not heavy, so I'm gonna shake it around, leave the solution inside for 30-40 minutes. That should kill most of the mold. Then I'm just gonna drain it, then add more water, and so all that smell comes out. I think that's honestly the only way to actually clean the reservoir on the bottom. Now, let's talk about the actual fan. I do enjoy the output of air. This is a spot cooler, so this will not work for the living room, and if you have 3, 4 people, the air just won't be enough. You will always fight for better position of the fan, because it's just a small 195 CFM, so it's not I wouldn't say it's a whole room cooler. But for example, let's say for me, I'm on my computer doing whatever I'm doing, working, playing games, doing video editing or stuff like that, this will keep me cool. If the outside is 90, my room is probably like 82, 83, 84. This will keep me cool so I don't have to use the central AC. So, you got to think about before you buy it if this is for you. Now, another thing is the noise level. Now, this fan is very, very quiet. I would say it's probably as quiet and maybe even less quiet than one of those $10, $15 cheap fans that you can buy at Walmart. They have like three different speeds. They look much smaller than this. So it has that, it's very, very quiet first and second speed. Third one, noticeable more noisy, but at the same time more output of air. Now the pump, as I said, it doesn't make any water sounds, so that can be a good thing for most people. Now, another thing that I love about this fan, it doesn't use much electricity at all. I would say it probably uses the same electricity as one of those small fans or just a basic light bulb when it's on. So I believe it's only 50 watts, which is nothing really. In a whole month, I don't think you're gonna spend more than $1 of electricity on it, probably even less. Now, to sum up, I'm very happy with my purchase. To be honest, I didn't pay full price for this fan. I bought it used on Amazon. They have every once in a while, they have like used one for sale from their Amazon warehouse where you will pay 1/3 or 1/2 of the price. The condition, it will say like new, but for me, unfortunately, it came with a little hairline crack, and this looks out of place. I can't put it back in. I tried many times. So what I think happened is the UPS guys were throwing it around and it dropped on the cement and it just popped and this cracked. Not a big deal. You can't even notice the crack. This is noticeable, but I would have to use maybe some super glue, which I don't care much about it as long as it works. And so if you in the need on one of these, make sure you check the Amazon and you check if they have any used one. I'm gonna put the link of the new one, and once you go on that page, just scroll down, you will see if they have any used ones for sale. I believe they had another one for $40, but it was like acceptable condition, which a person wouldn't buy because if this is how it comes in like new condition, so I can't even imagine what's acceptable condition. I think it will be cracked and just dirty and probably missing a remote. But Amazon is good with their return policy, so you won't have to worry at least about that if it comes broken and not working. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.